Welcome to another great episode of Mission Compliance, Unleashing Growth Potential for Defense Contractors. In today's episode, we're doing it a little bit differently. We're ad-libbing a little bit more because we're stepping away from the compliance controls, similar to what we did a few weeks ago when we celebrated 1 million views on YouTube. Today, we celebrate hitting 2,000 subscribers. That's right. That's not the biggest plateau. We're not competing with Mr. Beast or Dude Perfect or any of the larger channels yet, but 2,000 for us is a good milestone of growth, and we want to thank all of you for coming along with us on this journey. And with that, I'm going to throw it to our fearless leader, Mike Frieder, President of On-Call Compliance Solutions and a CMMC professional assessor. Thanks for joining us, Mike, and congratulations on leading us to 2,000 subscribers.
Hey, always a pleasure, Roman. And I got to tell you, it's not me, man. It's a lot of teamwork around here. It's congratulations to you and the whole marketing team. So a lot of really awesome work, and I'm just really excited to be here. I think we'll get into the questions in a minute, but if you asked me if we would ever have 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, I think my response would have probably been, no way, Jose, man. It's not that many people that are really interested in compliance to that degree. But you know what? I think again, subscribers are one thing, and we love it, love it, love it when you guys hit the subscribe button. As a matter of fact, if you're listening to this podcast, smash the subscribe button, whatever service you're on, hit the alerts button so that you know when we're coming out with these podcasts, because we really work hard to deliver massive value for you guys. And it's free. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's one of the things that we do to really support our country, to support you guys in being secure, because cyber attack is real, particularly for defense contractors. And you know what? We love doing it. It's a lot of fun for us internally here to do the podcasts and to do the YouTube videos. And you know what? To get all that information out there into the world, because otherwise there's really not anybody doing it. And it just continues to be this sort of mystery black box of stuff going on. And I don't think that's cool, especially when you're legally required to do it. There should be more clarity out there, but nobody really makes it easy for people, but we do.
In fact, I was sitting here the other day, and it was during our team meeting, and I can't remember if you were in that meeting or not. You might have been out, but I pulled up YouTube to give an update on our subscriber numbers for the week or whatever, as I usually do. And I saw that our live subscriber count was at 1999. And so I sat there for the rest of the meeting. I don't even think I heard what was going on. I was just like, get there, and I was live tracking that 2,000 subscriber. So
Yeah,
it was a good day. It was a good day. This is Wednesday, as we're recording this. We hit 2,000 last Thursday
yeah, and
during
still
our
rising,
weekly team meeting.
and still rising. I have to tell you that we watch the metrics on all of our activities here very, very carefully, and it's almost shocking, really. I mean, it's not like we're getting ad revenue off this thing at this stage, but it's really a ton of fun to watch the analytics, to watch, the subscriber counts go up. And the way that I look at it is, when you subscribe to something, it means that you see the value. And if I'm delivering the value, it really just makes us feel great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mike, at this point, with you being the face of our YouTube videos, I think you're definitely helping to grow the value and add value to that. With that being said, can you reflect back on the past 2 years, what it has been like standing up on the YouTube channel, or sorry, what it's been like starting the YouTube channel from scratch, getting it to where it's over 2,000 subscribers, over 1.2 million views, the channel becoming a major force in the world of DoD, information security, compliance, and all that stuff. Can you reflect back on the last 2 years of this YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I'll go back a couple of years, and our company was, obviously a bit smaller than it was, but we had had some success in marketing the company on the internet, and I looked at it and I looked around, and to me, everybody sort of talks about the idea that video marketing is the future and video marketing is the future. And yet what's interesting is very, very few companies ever do it at all. And even less companies truly gain a comfort level with it. And I think that's, I kind of decided that if we were going to help a lot of people, and I think we're maybe a little bit different than your average company because our attitude is not like, hey, I want to go grow a big profitable company. It's like, no, I want to go do as much good in the world as we can. I want to help defense contractors to never have to experience something that was a very traumatic event in my business life, which was getting hit with ransomware. I've had clients get hit with ransomware in the early days, in the early 2000s when this stuff was first really started being created. Um, it's a really, really bad feeling. And once you've gone through that and you realize, wait a minute, I understand what happened and I have a way to prevent this from ever happening again, it's almost instinctive that you just go to work solving the problem. And that's what we've done. And our client base does happen to be defense contractors, which is very unique. And so I said, I don't really like the way that this whole situation is. You got a situation where the government has wrote some rules that you have to comply with by law. There's very few people out there that really have deep expertise in this. There's very few people that are really willing to help without charging absurd amounts of money. And the people that I found were charging so much money that I looked at the situation and just thought to myself, man, like this is like no small to mid-sized business can handle this. And the interesting thing is we have a lot of enterprise clients, a lot of larger clients, and we're really, really good at helping them. I think that we probably provide the most value for larger companies. We're just not expensive compared to a lot, but most importantly, it's our time to deployment. We get it done quickly. And so I said, there's going to be companies out there who are going to have to make a really hard call about whether they're going to pay themselves as business owners or whether they're going to be compliant and follow the law. And we all know that the answer to that equation is they're going to pay themselves first and they're going to fail national security second. It's just how it is, right? If you got a choice between putting food on the table, you're putting food on the table. So with that in mind, I set forth to just first debunk a bunch of misinformation that was out there. I mean, again, I won't name any names, but there are companies that are just simply saying things that are incorrect, that are just, it's just not real. It's just not. That's all there is to it. So, I think that there's a lot there that deals with wanting to sort of help the underdog win. We've always been an underdog. We've always been sort of a smaller company, and we were definitely growing. But we've always wanted to help the little guy, and I think that's a lot of what the YouTube channel really was spun off based on. We wanted to help the little guy win. We wanted to help the smaller companies have a way to get compliant. And if they didn't have any money, then they surely at least had time to watch some videos and learn about this stuff and start getting indoctrinated into it. And we justified the time spent and the money spent on it by saying, look, we'll throw some advertising into it. We'll say, look, if we can help you, give us a call. Here's some websites to go to. And that was kind of, our goal was to sort of break even with this thing and just sort of make it worth our time, but also to deliver the information to those people who realistically might not ever become a client until they win some defense contracts and get bigger. And that's what we've done. So that was the premise it got started on. And I have to tell you, it took us a long time to sort of find a winning formula. The first thing we did was we actually built a sort of low budget video studio in one of our offices. And I did that because I wanted I wanted to create an environment that I had to walk past every day that I would feel bad if I didn't record videos in. And so I think, from a YouTube perspective, one of the biggest challenges is consistency of output. If you don't create YouTube videos on a consistent basis, it's really hard to have that audience. And if you're creating it on a consistent basis, it's a whole different story. So, we sort of went that direction and we created, we created that, we created that consistency all along. Then we did what no one was willing to do, and we put out, we took the controls and we gave people the answers to them. That was something that nobody was willing to do. It was all in a black box. Nobody's willing to discuss this stuff. There was nothing published on the internet. To me, it was really, a waste in terms of, here's this public standard that is so convoluted and complex to understand. but it really is meant to do a good thing. And so we simplified it. We put out that information, and then we did the same thing when CMMC came out. We went back, we made videos for all the CMMC controls, and we did other things also that we promote on the YouTube channel, talking about OnCallAcademy.com, where we built a whole do-it-yourself program, and we made products all along the ladder to make it so that whatever your price point is or whatever your speed is, we can help you. Obviously, our most popular program, is the done for you compliance program, where we come in and knock out compliance in an average of 2 to 3 days, depending upon how big your company is. It's an incredible program. It's exceptionally valuable. And it's, in my opinion, the right way to do it, because we're giving you everything you need. You've got an expert by your side. You've got follow-up assistance and rollout of implementation. It's just really an incredible service. So I think from that perspective, the YouTube channel has really been very valuable, both to our viewers, but also to us. And, just letting the world know what we do, but also showing the world that this stuff doesn't have to be hidden behind a paywall. We'll put the information out there for free. We'll give you no excuses to not be compliant. And it's, again, I think that the subscribership has shown us that if you do the right thing out there, you will get subscribers. And I don't think we're going to exactly derive a bunch of ad revenue from this. And I wouldn't say we have sponsors knocking down our door to advertise on our channel, although we're very much open to it. I think the real hidden gem is, while we're celebrating 2,000 subscribers today, the bigger thing to celebrate is, I mean, gosh, we're well into the millions of views right now. I mean, I think we're 1.2 million views, something like that. I have to go pull the analytics on it, but to have that level of views, I mean, I think we're averaging something like 10,000 viewers every other day. That's very fast approaching the 1.5 million view mark. It's really incredible. It just tells me that we're providing a lot of value out there. The graphs are always going up in terms of usage, and again, in the beginning, it was not easy. It was a lot of talking into a camera that you just kind of wonder if anybody cares. Is this the most ludicrous thing ever, to be talking about some obscure defense compliance thing that a bunch of people have to comply with? And I think 2,000 subscribers at least lets me know that there are people who we're able to help, and so long as we're helping those people, I think we're into it.
And look, we hear from clients every day, every other day, that say, I've watched every single one of your videos. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, well, that's cool. But also, like, we have over like 400 videos.
That's like
That's
over
it.
900 videos, I think.
It's something. Well, technically 900 is over 400. I don't have the exact number. I'm not looking at the exact number, but technically we're both right. Um, but I hear people that's like, oh yeah, I've seen every one of your videos. And I'm like, that's cool, but wow. And it brings to mind, we have a graphic that we sometimes use in some of our videos, and it's a man, and he's sitting almost like in this cave, and he's got like at least 25 different screens in front of him, like different TVs or whatever, and your face is on all of them. And that's what I think about whenever I hear somebody say, I've watched all of your videos, because we have 100+ control videos alone. Like you said, we started making videos about answering the compliance controls. There's 110 compliance controls alone, and we have videos for each one. So that's a lot of stuff. But can you tell us about one of the larger success stories that you've had with the channel?
Yeah, I think first off, the channel itself is a huge success story. The fact that we've got over 1.2, 1.3 million views going on right now is really just blows my mind. In terms of success stories, I will tell you that we had a client recently who came to us. Not to be very careful about NDAs and confidentiality statements and things like that, but we'll just say they came to us. They said, "Hey, look, the government's working, looking at doing a program with us, and we really don't know about this stuff. It's not, defense is not our business, but they're sort of saying, look, we need someone who has your capabilities, who can do this work, and if you can do this work, there's a very big program on the line." And one of the things we did is we not only got them to the point where they had compliance in place, but they followed a lot of our advice, and we're managing their compliance on an ongoing basis. And helping them with their IT stuff as well. But they were able to win multiple awards that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They were able to implement compliance, be successful at doing that. They were able to, um, and compliance was a condition of all of that. And the best part is that we taught them to include our costs in the contract. That we could either line item them or include them in the overall cost. And they did that, and the company itself has not paid a single penny for any of our services. They've won contracts that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They've given the United States a very critical resource that it didn't previously have, and it's a really exciting story. I only wish that I could share more. And the truth is that that like so many of our clients came in because they saw what was going on, and they started trying to search around for answers. They found a lot of answers on our YouTube channel. They probably watched 14, 15 videos, realized it was a pretty big endeavor. They reached out, they called us, and they said, hey, can you help? And we had somebody on the plane within 2 weeks to go out there and help them. And the rest is kind of history. But that turnaround time was really only a couple of months. It was less than a month to get them compliant. It was another month maybe to win the agreement, right, with the right assurances of information security in place, thanks to us. And they're in production on those contracts right now, and it's real good stuff. So we have numerous clients, honestly, that have leveraged compliance to win contracts that are easily into the hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's pretty intimidating if you really think about it. A lot of these are already great companies, but they've got something that the DoD really needs. And when that happens, I got to tell you guys, the US is looking to move manufacturing back to the United States. Reliance upon other countries is something that we view as a threat. And so they are turning the tide on this. The message is getting out there, and we are there to help make sure that they can keep the information secure. And so, yeah, I mean, again, I wish I could give a little bit more detail. We've had airlines that we've helped out, multiple airlines that we've helped out. We've had countless universities and colleges that we've helped to get compliant. We've got just, major defense industry clients, household names you would know of, publicly traded companies that we've worked with. A lot of those people really started their introduction to us on our YouTube channel, a lot of our online marketing. So, yeah, lots and lots of success stories, but one that comes to mind is a company that just wasn't even doing defense work in the first place, and we helped them get compliant for free, and it helped them secure literally hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue. And we're still helping them with technology management compliance today, and it's really a cool situation. That's what the underdog partnerships that I love are made of. It's really, and they're out there and they're every day in our client base, and it's really a phenomenal thing.
Absolutely. So, with all the success and the growth that this channel has had, where do you see the direction of the channel going from this point? What would you like to see?
That's a great question. I think one of the things that we're working on internally, there's sort of two major things. One is, as we continue to grow, I'm challenged, and again, I think a lot of YouTubers probably wouldn't admit this, but I'm challenged to write the scripts, and to continue the output that we've had in previous years. As the company grows and grows, a lot of my time is being pulled in other directions as far as, just, personnel development, program development, things like that. I love doing this stuff. I really do. But we now have a team that helps us with script writing. I think if you ask me, I think that makes our content better because I'm the type of person, I guess I'm very fortunate that I have the talents that I can get in front of a camera and, kind of Ron Burgundy it, if you will. I'll read what's on the teleprompter, realize what I'm reading is silly, and then just kind of ad lib. I think more of that is we've gotten some really positive comments in the past on stuff like that. I think it makes the videos more entertaining. And I think that, again, just the expansion to a writing team is where we are right now. And I think that it's allowing us to keep pumping out the content. I also think that, we've got, other people on staff who, have stressed some interest in getting on to help make me not the face of the company. It's kind of interesting. I never really wanted to be the face of all of this stuff, but sometimes that's just kind of where it leads. And when it does, the reality is, there's a couple of things that sort of happen there. One is you've got instant trust with people, which is really awesome. I can get on the line with any one of our clients, and the wild thing is they've already seen me hundreds of times, and I'm just meeting them for the first time. That's a really cool thing to have that level of instant rapport. It also just helps cut through the mess of introductions and lets me just get right down to work and helping them out. I'm that type of person. I'm happy to have small talk and talk about how your family was after I solve your problem, but frankly, I have the personality type that I want to dive in, and I just want to, attack the problem and get you to the point where you're in a better place than you were when I found you, and then we can be friends. I just that's the kind of person that I am. So I think, with that in mind, there's going to be more people involved. I think that there's some more personality types involved. We've got some folks that are really kind of at the beginning of their journey in our company, learning to be a compliance expert, learning to be a practitioner. And we want to bring some of that fresh blood into some of these podcasts and some of the YouTube videos, because they got fresh ideas. And you know what? They've got fresh perspective. We've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos from my perspective, and I think it's important to get other people's perspective on this. They're all experts. They all have access to our internal teams. And, I think expanding it, maybe getting some interviews going as well. I know that there are folks from the Cyber AB, like Matt Travis and folks like that, who are out there in the community doing interviews with larger companies on their podcasts and things like that. I haven't really found a whole lot of reason to go bother those people, to be honest with you. I think that the law is straightforward, and we have back channel communication with those organizations. But maybe it's time to kind of jump on the bandwagon and do some interviewing. I'm not really sure if that's our direction or not. But I'll tell you this, my major focus of this podcast, of this YouTube channel, and all of our marketing communications is value. The way I look at it is, we operate in the defense sector as well, and we just want to be the company that provides content that is providing active right now value for the people who are taking their valuable time and actually listening to it and watching it. And so long as I can do that, that will always be the guiding light, I think, for our channel, is how can we provide the most value possible for your minutes that you're taking out of your life to go watch this stuff, whether it be entertainment or whether it be, gaining of knowledge through compliance. Those are the two biggest ways I think we help. And I think that the future of the channel is really bright. We're as pumped up as ever when it comes to, doing the videos. We love doing them. We're doing more of them these days with our writing team. And I think there's just a tremendous amount of really positive stuff going on.
You know what though, Mike? I worry because if you are no longer the face of the videos, there may be a riot because we get one of our sales guys, Matt. He goes to these things. He goes to these trade shows and things, and people are disappointed when they're not when it's not you. It's like, oh, you work for the company that has that Mike guy in the videos. Where is he? Why is he not here? And then there was that woman that we had the meeting set with, or the thing, and she wouldn't talk to anyone but you. And again, Matt had to be like, well, I'm the guy that handles the quoting, I'm the guy that handles like all the stuff. And she's like, no, I want to talk to Mike. So like if you are not the face of the videos, there might be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've heard that before, but I've also made that transition before. I remember back 20 years ago when I was the one doing the computer repair work, and I transitioned out of that. I've been the person doing the compliance work, and I've transitioned out of that. Companies have to evolve, and leaders have to evolve, and they have to be at the forefront of that evolution. The reality for me is that it's fun work for me to do as far as the videos go, and more importantly, I just love delivering the value. But I think that what they really are saying is, hey, I want the guy that delivered the value. And I think the reality is that, we've got guys who are going on consultations every single week. I don't do that anymore. I think I do have a lot of regular contact in terms of, what's going on in the industry, and, what's moving and shaking and things like that. So I've got a lot of insight into it, but I don't think I'm irreplaceable. I just, I think that, as a matter of fact, actually, we want to. I may not necessarily go away. I may just sort of take a lesser role, and there might be other people joining on the videos, and I think that would be positive as well. It doesn't really need to be all me. I think right now it just happens to be the case because, frankly, every time we get a new body in the door, the next thing I know, we've got more scheduled consultations to take care of and more great defense contractors to make compliant. So that part is really wonderful. And uh, I take a lot of what I call default jobs in the organization, right? So, and if you're a small to mid-sized business owner, this is kind of how it goes. You wind up doing everything that's left over that there isn't a person assigned to take care of. That's sort of how marketing used to be, and now we're building a marketing team. And interestingly, that puts me in a position where, again, shooting of the videos is one of those last things that nobody's really taken responsibility over. And so, we're seeking to change that because there's so much more that I've got to help out with in the company. We've got to make sure that this thing continues to scale. We've got to make sure that, we're delivering for our YouTube audience consistent and continuous value. That's a big deal for me. And, as long as we're doing that, it doesn't matter if it's my face, your face, or somebody else's face. I think as long as the value is there, everybody's going to love it. And frankly, I don't think I'm the most entertaining guy. I definitely crack a few jokes here and there, but I think that there are people who are even better at doing that kind of thing, providing entertainment, providing a lightheartedness to what is a very serious subject. Because, I got to tell you, at the end of the day, if you can't have fun at work, right? If you can't enjoy the process of getting compliant, the journey of getting compliant, you won't do it. And that's another really big lesson about all things in life is you've got to enjoy the journey that you're on. And if you're involved in a journey to compliance, there's a lot of boring companies out there that you can work with. I think if you look at, the things we do on YouTube and a lot of what we have going on, we're a really fun company to work with. We've always got a great attitude. Our people love it here. And we also take a pragmatic approach of focusing on what really matters and what doesn't, and what do you really need to do with all this. And I think that's something that everybody really appreciates. So yeah, I think there's a lot going on in the future. I think one of our goals this year is definitely to involve more than just me on the recording side. And hey, I'm with you, right? There's definitely I've been a part of more than one phone call where I pop in and the tune in the air changes a little bit when I pop in the room, but the reality actually is, our sales teams do a phenomenal job, and I'm just there to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because we're going off the cuff and talking about YouTube and views, and it's not our usual compliance thing, does not mean we're gonna escape out of here without our usual silly question. So let's get to that now. And I have a feeling Mike wanted me to ask this question, so here we go. Are you an official YouTube celebrity yet?
Haha. Yeah, we were talking about silly questions before this thing started, and I said, well, I think that's I think that's the silliest question. It's very interesting. Celebrity is a really wild double-edged sword. I was once in Las Vegas and I met a hero of mine from YouTube. His name is Alex Hormozy. He's a business guy. And he's one of those, I call them the unexpected heroes of life. I think, Alex is a guy who sort of stumbled along, was building businesses, really dedicated his life to building businesses. That was what he was clearly meant to do, but he was in the wrong vehicle. It was, had several businesses that he started and failed and transitioned and did this and that. And then he had one that really worked out really well. He kind of put all the pieces together. And I really admire that. I think On Call is a company very much like that. I think we were an MSP for 16 plus years exclusively. And I think during that time, it wasn't really a super huge business. I mean, we had grown to have global clients and it was a really good company, but it wasn't like it is today. We didn't have that type of person that we were born to serve. And I think that watching Alex's journey, finding the people that he's born to serve, which in his case are entrepreneurs and business owners, in my case, it's defense contractors, and being able to run that journey in parallel. When I actually met Alex in person, number one, he was super awesome. He was just walking with his wife in the Crystals Mall. Number two is I didn't like want to bother this guy, but I totally had like a celebrity moment and just like open mouth, gaped at this guy. And I was like, oh my God, that's Alex Hormozy. I said it to my wife as we were walking by. And then he heard it. And then he came and talked with me. We took a picture and it was super cool. And it's just, I don't think I'm on that level of celebrity. I don't think I will ever be on that level of celebrity. There's only one kind of room I could ever even maybe think that I would have a little bit of that celebrity touch to, and it would be a room full of a bunch of defense contractors. And I don't even know where to go find a room like that. I mean, there's obviously like shows like the Navy Gold Coast show and a bunch of defense specific trade shows. Maybe I get recognized there, but I can tell you officially as of this day in 2024, I am definitely not a celebrity. I do not get recognized on planes. There have definitely been some awkward moments where I'm pretty sure somebody recognized me from YouTube. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't do this for celebrity. I probably really don't want to be a celebrity at all. I think I'm very happy to just run a good quality business where I'm helping people and, more or less just not fool around when it comes to, being a celebrity and dealing with all of this kind of stuff. Because with celebrity comes, other problems. But with that being said, again, my number one thing is I just want to provide value to people. So as long as I'm doing that, if you recognize me on public, come say hi. Don't be shy. I'd love to say hello and learn about your business too and what you've got going on with compliance. But a celebrity, I think I could probably safely say I'm not quite there yet, Roman. But I don't know, 2,000 subscribers. One thing's for sure, there's definitely a couple million people who have seen my face around YouTube. So um, who knows? You never know what the future holds.
I'll tell you what you do. You go to one of those Gold Coast shows, you go to one of those defense shows, and you drive your race car through the door. And then they'll be like, "Who's this dude?" And you step out of the race car, and then it's like, "Oh, the guy from YouTube." And then that'll be it. You have done it. Congratulations, the guy that drives his race car through the doors.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of my heroes are people who ultimately like their dream was to go racing. And I'm a car guy, I'm a racer. You look at people like Steve McQueen, you look at people like Patrick Dempsey. Those guys were celebrities to pay the bills. But let me tell you what, all they really wanted to do was race cars. And when you're in a race car, you're alone. It's you in the car, and you don't have to worry about fans jumping out in front of you. And those guys were celebrity by trade. I think I'd probably have to put myself in that same sort of category. You know, I love to race, but I don't need to become a celebrity to go do what I love. I do what I love. I do what I love here on with YouTube and with this compliance stuff because I really do care about making this a better world that's safer from people that realistically, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Who is the type of person who would willingly go and attack and hack someone else's system? In their head, they must be thinking that they're doing some good in the world. It blows my mind personally to really think that their morals and ethics don't trigger when they go and cause harm to someone else. But nonetheless, there are so many people in the world that do it that you just have to know that they have been trained from birth or, trained somehow to believe that they're doing the right thing, which is just absolutely unequivocally not true. And it's sad to me. It's kind of like we were talking about superhero storylines earlier in the day. And sometimes, bad guys don't know they're bad, right? They're just sort of misinformed about the global perspective. And so as a result, what do you have to do? Well, you got to have some people that do some good in the world, and that's kind of where I am. So yeah, definitely not a celebrity, not planning to be a celebrity, but I will say this, I would like to do some good in the world, whatever that entails.
Frankie Muniz, another actor turned racer, Malcolm in the Middle.
Didn't
He
even know
made
that.
he made his debut, I think, on the NASCAR, whatever the main NASCAR circuit is, like last year. I think he's like a full-time racer now.
Wow,
Uh, and as we all know, Steve McQueen, one of the greatest car chases ever on film in Bullet, which led Ford to come out with, I think it's in 2020, with a Mustang Bullet
that's right.
that was based off of his 1967 Mustang Fastback, although the Bullet looks nothing like it. I think we stick to the original Fastback, which the 1967 Fastback is my dream car, and I don't even drive, but it's my dream car. Which they are remaking that movie. So hopefully they use
Really?
the original 67 and not the 2020, because the
Oh,
2020
that
doesn't
would
even look like a Bullet at all. Um, but anyway, I digress. It is going to be Bradley Cooper and Steven Spielberg, so I trust them to do it correctly. Um,
I trust Steven Spielberg. I think he'll get it right.
yeah, no, he did. I remember being just as nervous when they announced the remake of West Side Story, and he nailed it. So, I will never second guess Steven Spielberg, and he's taking on one of the greatest car chases to ever exist in the world. Uh, that and the Italian Job. Anyway,
Oh
that
yeah,
wrap,
that's
that wraps up another great episode of Mission Compliance. We hope our discussion today has provided you with valuable insights and not really practical strategies because we didn't really talk about compliance, but we talked about our goals to bring you the best compliance information that we can and how we're going to go forward from here. So I'll skip that part of the outro. But it doesn't end here. Feel free to share your thoughts with us and use the hashtag Mission Compliance Podcast. If you haven't already, what should they do, Mike?
well, you know what? First off, what they should do is get thanks by us because we wouldn't be here without you guys. And we really appreciate you tuning in. And of course, if you're listening to this and you haven't subscribed, come join the bandwagon because you know what? 2035 plus strong as of today, and we're just gaining more every month. And we're so excited to be bringing this to you. Make sure you
That,
subscribe.
that's right. On your favorite podcast platform, YouTube, Spotify, wherever. So that way that you know when there's new episodes like this one to check out and come hang with us. Uh, Also, rate and review the show, like Mike said, because that helps us to continue to bring you thought-provoking episodes and high-quality content. Join us next time as we get back on the compliance train and delve further into the dynamic world of defense, security, and industry innovation. Until then, take care, stay informed, and make compliance your mission. Congratulations on 2,000 subscribers!
Hey, congratulations to you. Thanks, everybody.
See you next time.